Then I let me in the door. Then I gave your boy a chance, now the youngin' finna blow. It's a shame finna put the game in the figure four. Youngin' fresh from out that bottom.
Yo, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, man. You ain't gotta comment, but I do appreciate it if you just sub and if you're new. Now, in this video, I'll be talking about Attack on Titan, but in particular, I'm gonna be explaining Eren's out of character moment in chapter 139. Now, Eren expressing his feelings for Mikasa and the way how he does it caused a lot of controversy in the AOT community. You have a lot of people who say that Eren doing this is out of character and that his character is destroyed and that it's retcon. But you also have a lot of people who says that him doing this is not out of character and that it's perfectly normal. Now, first of all, Eren is out of character. After hearing what he said about Mikasa, Armin then goes to say that he didn't think that Eren could say something like that, meaning that he is out of character. Now, the best way to show the readers that what you did was something that you meant to do is by having another character in the story acknowledge what you did, which is what he does with Armin, by making Armin say to Eren that I didn't think that you could say something like that, which means that Isayama writing Eren out of character is on purpose. Now, this was also Isayama's way to show the audience that the way how Eren was acting and the things that he said while acting this way was just him pretending. Now, this acting or pretending to be somebody else gets foreshadowed in the first season of Attack on Titan when Reiner and Eren is sparring and Reiner then goes to tell Eren that it's his turn to now play the bad guy. This idea of acting or pretending to be somebody else also gets foreshadowed in season 3 of part 1 when Hanji and Levi is torturing the MPs in order to get information about the king, and then the MP warning Hanji that it's an order to this and that every time when somebody steps down from a role, somebody has to always fill that role. So what makes an actor a good actor? And it's their ability to destroy themselves and to completely step out of their own shoes and step in the shoes of that character that they're pretending to be. You have actors who do it so perfectly and do it for so long to the point where they do not only trick the audience into believing that they are who they say they are pretending to be, but they also sometimes trick themselves into believing that they are who they say they are pretending to be as well. You would sometimes hear actors say that they would get lost in the characters that they play and it would not feel like they're acting anymore. Now, we see this happen with many characters throughout the whole entire story of Attack on Titan. We see this happen with Ymir, Historia, Reiner, and now Eren motherfucking Jeager. Even Irvin himself was putting on an act. Now, starting with Ymir, we don't really know too much about Ymir, just like how we don't know too much about Ymir Fritz. And most likely she didn't even know who the fuck she was, which would make it easy for her to be somebody else or to pretend to be somebody else. Somebody told her that her name is now Ymir and the king's blood flows through her. Now, pretending to be this character gave her a lot of pros and cons. The pros was that she was given a better life. She had somewhere to sleep every night. She had food every night. And she had people who seemed like they genuinely cared about her and cared for her. They worshipped her and they made her feel like a fucking god. The cons was that she was lying to herself. Lying to these people and tricking them into believing that she is who the fuck she says she is. But she also tricked herself. Which is why when the Malayan government went to go stop everything and the girl told her to say no, she went ahead and said, yes, I am Ymir and that the king's blood flows through her. And it's because of all the benefits that she had got acting like this character. It tricked her into believing that she literally was who the fuck she was pretending to be. Then she was turned into a Titan and then she ate Marcel and then she was given a second chance. Which is why I thought that Ymir Fritz was going to be reincarnated into Historia's baby and then given a second chance at life. It's all right there. Isayama just didn't want to do the shit. But with this second chance, Ymir made it her mission to make sure that she would never lie to herself and to also make sure that she would never be tricked into believing that she was somebody who the fuck she's not. Now we got Historia. Historia spent her childhood reading books about people being connected, but more specifically, parents interacting with their kids in a loving way. She was reading about shit that she never experienced. So her desperately wanting to experience that, she goes to jump on her mother in order to get some type of interaction out of her. And what her mother does is she pushes her away, making her nose bleed, and the first words that she ever say to Historia is that she should have never been born. Now, these things that was said and done to Historia are really fucked up, but at that point in time, it went over her head. She did not care about the way how she was being treated because all that she wanted to be was connected and to have some type of interaction with her mother. And if you think about it, it's probably the same situation with Ymir Fritz and the king. Now, after that, Historia's father tells her that she will now be crystalline. friends. Also wanting to be connected with her father, she was okay with this. But Historia used this opportunity to start over. This was her chance to be able to get what she had never been able to get while being Historia. She wanted to make sure that she would never hear the words, "You should have never been born," which is why when Eren says those same exact words, she felt connected with Eren and wanted to help him. So Historia made the choice to destroy herself and become Krista, but become the Krista that is in the book that she would always read about. That same Krista that made a deal with the devil, which is aka Eren motherfucking Jeager. That same Krista that was always nice and putting other people first before herself. Now, her perfectly pretending to be this character for so long, it tricked everybody around her into believing that she actually was this nice person that always put other people first before herself. But she also tricked her own damn self into believing that she actually was this type of person. Now, after taking back her old name, in certain ways she was still Krista. And it's because she played Krista for so long and so good to the point where Krista became a part of her. She was still putting other people first before herself, and we can see that when she was ready to sacrifice herself in order to save the whole entire fucking island. But she also knew when to become Historia, and also when to not lie to herself or trick herself into believing that she wants to put other people first. And we see this when Historia takes back the choice of who the father of her children will be, and she wanted the father to be Eren. Now, of course, I don't know what Eren really said, but you could kind of think that he said somewhere on the lines of no. I would like to believe that Eren said that it's no way that I can be the father because I'm going to die in 4 years, which is a fucking lie, by the way. Now, hearing Eren say what he said, it made her sad because she was now being forced to do exactly what the MPs was going to force her to do, which is have a baby with somebody that she don't really want to have a baby with. But also because she knew that she was going to lose Eren. Now we get to Reiner. All that Reiner wanted was to be looked at as a hero of justice, but he also wanted a family. He wanted his father to acknowledge him as a son, and he also wanted his mother to be happy being who she is. So he made the choice to become a warrior. So Reiner, Marcel, Annie, and Bertolt get sent to Paradise Island. Marcel then gets eaten. Annie and Bertolt now wants to go home because they lost everything that Marcel brings to the table. They can't do this without somebody like Marcel. Reiner, knowing that he would be killed without being able to achieve a single thing, he goes to tell Annie that Reiner is fucking dead. If you want Marcel, then I will be Marcel. Now, Reiner pretending to be Marcel came with a lot of pros and cons. The pros was that he was able to get everything that he wasn't able to get while being Reiner and being a warrior. Reiner pretending to be Marcel allowed him to become a soldier all on his own. He was able to develop real relationships with other people. Because of him being a soldier and that he was fighting against the Titans, he was now looked as a hero of justice. Pretending to be Marcel, he was now the person that everybody such as Eren Jeager wanted to be like. Now, because of the fact that he was able to get everything that he ever wanted pretending to be Marcel, he got tricked into believing that he actually was a soldier who was fighting for humanity inside the walls, when he was the one that was sent there to destroy humanity inside the walls in the fucking first place. He was the bad guy pretending to be the good guy, and it fucked him up. In his head, he thinks that he's Marcel and that he's a soldier and that he's a hero of justice, but in his heart, he knows that he's Reiner and that he is a warrior and that he's not a hero of justice because of what he did to these people inside the walls that had no idea that it was life living outside the walls. Now we got Eren motherfucking Jeager. For Eren, it's different because Eren has future memories of somebody who looks like him but is not him at the same time. This adult version of himself was going against the character that he was before receiving his future memory. I'm pretty sure at some point Eren didn't even know who the fuck he was. Am I this hero of justice, or am I a person that would kill innocent people? Am I a person who cares a lot about his friends, or am I a person that would hurt his friends? Am I a person that wants his friends to live long lives, or am I a person that would sacrifice his friends in order to achieve freedom? Who the fuck am I? Like, I don't know who the fuck I am. I am doing all this shit for my mother, and now I find out that I'm the one who killed her ass. What the, like, who the fuck am I? Now, because of the things that Eren was saying and him knowing what he would do and what he says in the future, it made him feel like him being himself was just him pretending. He felt the same way like how Reiner felt. He was now the bad guy pretending to be the good guy. Now Eren tried his hardest to not play this bad guy role. He tried to look for a different path, but once he saw that those different paths was not working, it did not only push him to have no choice but to play this bad guy role, but it also pushed him to want to play this bad guy role. And as soon as he laid his eyes on the outside world, that's when he understood. Once he seen that the outside world was not like how it was described to be in Ymir's book, it tricked him into believing that he wanted to destroy the world. He wanted to now be the bad guy. But what made him feel like he had no other choice but to play this bad guy role is when he seen all that hatred being pushed onto the aliens that live on Paradise Island. That's when he felt like he had no other fucking choice. The whole entire world was against him. So he pretended to be this heartless Eren. He pretended to not care about him killing innocent people. He pretended to not care about him putting his own friend's life on the line in order to achieve his goals. He was so good at this, playing this bad guy role, to the point where he was able to trick his own friends. He was able to trick himself. He was able to trick his own fucking brother. He was able to trick Flock himself. He was able to trick Historia, and he was able to trick all of us into thinking that he was this bad guy now. But at the same time that he was pretending to be this bad guy, he also wanted to be this bad guy. So it's not just about Eren having no choice. It's also about him wanting to do all this shit, which is why he said that everything that has happened is all because he wanted it to happen. Which is also why he said to Armin that even if he didn't have future memories of them stopping him, he still would have destroyed the world. So now we get back to Eren and the way how he expressed his feelings for Mikasa. It is out of character, and that's the fucking point. He is no longer in character anymore. But Isayama takes it a little bit further than that. Because of the fact that Eren was playing this bad guy role for so fucking long, not caring about shit, when he went back to being himself, he was no longer even himself anymore. And it's because when he chose to want to destroy the world and become this bad guy, that's the second that he lost everything. And once he lost everything, that's when he realized how much he actually cared about everything that he had lost. He realized how much he really cared about his friends. He realized how much he loved Mikasa. And he also realized how much he badly wanted to be the father of Historia's children. But he knew that he couldn't get none of that because of the path that he chose since the day that he was born. All this shit was set up by Ymir the first time, and then it was set up the second time by Eren because he wanted everything that Ymir had set up to happen again. But once he became the founder of the Titan Paths, that is when he set up Ymir. I truly believe that Eren was the one who planted the parasite under the tree for Ymir to come in contact with. And you know all about that if you watch my video about me explaining how Eren's death further explains the origin of the Titans. But yeah, him being out of character is on purpose. It's not him being retconned and nothing like that. I truly understand this shit a lot more now. I've given myself a new perspective for the ending for Attack on Titan. Yes, I still want things to be different, and I'm hoping that shit do be different in the anime, but it is what it is. And I'm hoping that I did give you all a new perspective for the ending for Attack on Titan. I'm not trying to change your opinions about the ending for Attack on Titan. I'm just trying to explain this shit. But this is the end of the video. You ain't got to comment, but I do appreciate it if you hit the sub button if you're new, and I am out, bruh.